Thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to say something that you don't hear every day, and that is that I'm a mid-level bureaucrat, and it's awesome. I work for the Philadelphia Department of Commerce, and I'm going to talk to you tonight about 3 projects that are just the tip of the iceberg of the super awesome things that we are doing to make Philadelphia better. Now, I only got 5 minutes. I'm going to talk fast. I'm not going to cover everything, but as a steward of your tax dollars, I hope that you hear this talk and you get as excited about our work as I do. To be sure, the big guys, they're really important to our economy. But the stuff that I'm going to talk about tonight, they're talking about the bodegas, it's the restaurants, it's the daycares and the artisan ice cream manufacturers. But first of all, Philadelphia is a Kiva city, which means that we have a special place on the Kiva platform to crowdfund 0% interest business loans. And that only happened because one person in commerce was like, wait, there's a place where businesses can crowdfund 0% interest business loans? We should be doing that. So it took 2 years, a lot of fundraising, and today we are able to offer loans that are based on a borrower's character, not their collateral. So take, for example, Chani. Chani is a Cambodian immigrant. She and her husband, between the two of them, work 5 jobs, and it was her dream to open a custom dress shop. And she doesn't have a credit card. She doesn't have a credit history. What she needed is somebody to freaking believe in her, and that's what Kiva does. They're moving the needle and making opportunity for everyone. We have funded $475,000 of capital to 95 businesses across the city of Philadelphia. The next project that I'm going to talk about is called Passport Philadelphia, and this is something that came out of the city's Office of Business Services. And OBS is sort of like this SWAT team of folks who will parachute down and help you understand that weird letter that you got that you don't get, and maybe you don't speak English as a first language. They will help get you through that. And back to the passports, but this was an idea that came from a gentleman who is an immigrant himself, and if you need help, he can help you in 5 languages. He wanted to figure out a way to support immigrant businesses in Philadelphia. He picked 3 refugee-owned restaurants, the premise being, you don't need to get on a plane to experience South Asian cuisine. We have it right here in South Philadelphia. And so the idea was you get a passport, you go to the restaurants, you get stamps, and you have some sort of cultural exchange, you get out of your neighborhood. It's all over food, because who doesn't love food? In the end, the whole thing culminated in this amazing event that included dancing and music and, of course, more food and the mayor and prizes and hundreds of people celebrating the incredible impact that immigrant businesses make to our city, not just to the economy, but to our culture. This is who we are now. The last thing I'm going to talk about is the Startup PHL Call for Ideas, which is a program that I helped launch. And the idea being that we ask you, community, if you wanted to support the entrepreneurial ecosystem, where are the gaps? What do we do? What do you need help with? I'm really proud to say that we have funded programs and projects that have presented on this stage. These are groups that you know are doing great work. So folks like Tech Girls, who are empowering girls to be leaders, or Schoolyard Ventures, who's doing high school entrepreneurship, Tiny WPA, which is training our next generation of makers, and Coded by Kids, which is taking tech and coding to the neighborhoods. And the last one, I couldn't find any pictures of, but the Women's Refugee Textile Initiative basically taught refugee women not only how to sew, but also how to start businesses. And that's pretty exciting. We've funded over 20 projects that span industries from food to fashion. So that's my whirlwind. Even this guy had to admit that maybe government workers aren't bad. Ugh. So we are not the do-nothing, complacent losers that every Philly.com comment troll would have you believe. These are real people who are coming up with really great ideas to make Philadelphia a better place. And they reflect Philadelphia, and I think that's really important. And the last thing I want to say is that the work that we do, this speaks to an economic justice. This speaks to dignity, and this speaks to the American value of opportunity. For every nasty thing that your uncle says, and you have that uncle, I have that uncle, we know what he says is BS. But the work that we do directly combats those stereotypes. We help people start businesses. We help people create jobs. We help people sustain their communities. And I am really proud of the work that we do, and I hope that you are now too. Thank you.